you're gonna wanna listen very, very, very closely to this video, because everyone is telling you to bulk up, to eat more, to eat big, to get big, and all that BS that we know doesn't work. But what should you actually eat? That's a really good question. And if you have that question, I know you're a smart person, because, okay, you're telling me to eat more, but what should I eat? So in this video, I will reveal the specific foods that you need to eat on a bulk in order to make that bulk a successful bulk. And if you're interested in gaining your first 30 pounds plus more exclusive videos that I won't upload onto YouTube, then check out Bulking School. It's a day-by-day program that is going to help you achieve this goal. You can see here what other guys have to say about this, and it's the first link in the description if you consider joining. So let's do this. Number one, high calorie dense foods. Let's talk about this. I know you've probably heard this, but let me explain it to you. So let me give you the opposite. What is good for fat loss? Low calorie, use your brain. Low calorie dense foods. The reason for that is because these foods are going to keep you full. If they keep you full, then you're not going to feel that hungry anymore. If you don't feel that hungry anymore, you're not going to eat a lot. And if you don't eat a lot, you're probably going to be in a calorie deficit. And if you are in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose fat. That's the whole process of it. So that's why if you want to lose weight, then of course, the people that want to lose weight, they need to eat low calorie foods. But us and you watching this video right now, for bulking, for gaining muscle, specifically, not really fat, but gaining muscle, we need the opposite. High calorie, low volume, healthy foods. If these are high calorie and low volume in the same time, they're not going to keep us very full, but in the same time, they're going to give us a bunch of calories. That means these are not going to kill our hunger entirely, and therefore we will be able to eat more. And the main problem that you have is that you have a low appetite, you're not very hungry, and you cannot eat a lot. So you must not eat low calorie dense foods, because they're going to keep you way more fuller or whatever. So we want to eat the opposite. Like I said, these are going to give you a bunch of calories at the same time, and at the same time not killing your hunger entirely. So in short, you need high calorie foods from healthy sources. So generally, we want the type of foods that we want to eat. We want this to be high in protein to support building muscle, high in complex carbs as possible. Of course, you can eat normal carbs like white bread, white pasta, and all that stuff. But to keep this as healthy as we can, make sure you eat as much as complex carbs as you can. Right? Things like whole grains and all that stuff. But I'm going to give you the specific foods in the next slide. So moderate in healthy fats. That's why it's with yellow right here. Healthy fats, moderate in healthy fats. Generally, when we want to have high calorie foods, we want them to be high in healthy fats, because that's going to increase the calories, it's going to boost the calories, but in the same time keep the volume low. So imagine 1 tablespoon of olive oil, it's about 130 calories. Imagine you taking 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Are you going to feel full after that? Probably not, but you got 100 calories. So you can see what we're looking for right here. High in healthy fats, not the bad fats that I'm not gonna give you any options. And you can think of these like junk food, like ice cream, chocolates, and all that stuff. These are gonna contain all the not so healthy fats. Now we want to eat less of it. And of course, fiber. Here's a discussion. If you increase the fibers, then that's gonna make it high volume. So look to have some fibers, but not a lot of fibers, because we want to still have fibers to keep healthy, but not a bunch of fibers. So moderate fibers, moderate healthy fats, high in complex carbs, and high in proteins. That's what we're looking for. And of course, if you combine the healthy fats with carbs, that's gonna give it a very good taste and a nice taste. So what I want to talk about right now is I want to give you the perfect macronutrient split. So for the protein, you probably know this: 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or 2.2 grams, right, per kilogram. So 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or if you have your weight in kilograms, multiply that by 2.2. For the complex carbs, I'm not going to tell you right now because that's not very important, but for the healthy fats, we don't want to go more than 1 gram per kilogram. Right? So 1 gram per kilogram for healthy fats. So if you weigh 48 or 50 or 55 kilograms, then don't eat more than 55 grams of fats per day. And the rest, right? The rest of the calories are going to come from the complex carbohydrates or just normal carbohydrates. And we know that the proteins have 4 calories per gram, fats 9 calories per gram, and then you can add those up. You can subtract them from your total calories that you can find very, very easily. I talk about in detail with this stuff in other videos, so I'm not gonna go right now into the calories. If you want to learn more about those, I have a bunch of videos on that topic. But yeah, just for you to know the perfect macro split right here for you to bulk. Let's go to the list of foods to buy, right? Let's make a straight line. So here's the food list to buy that you can buy. And this is, of course, an example with high calorie, healthy foods. But of course, make sure you still add the foods that you like onto this list. So for the proteins, the best option here is going to be salmon, right? Because this is high in healthy fats, and it's going to give you a bunch of calories and a bunch of protein. Next, we have chicken breast, chicken thighs with more calories, more fat. Ground beef or steak, a bunch of calories as well, and protein. Eggs, not so many calories, but it's a complete protein, a good way of getting high quality protein. And then we've got whole milk and Greek yogurt for the protein and also some healthy fats. Now, you can also buy some whey or casein or both if you have some money, a powder of these. You can take whey in the morning or during the day and casein later in the night, because this is it's a low digesting protein and it's gonna give you a protein throughout the night. That's more if you have some money, right, to spend on the supplements. But these are definitely gonna give you a boost in calories and also in the protein, because 1 scoop of whey, it's about 100 something calories, and also in the same time 24-25 grams of protein. For the carbs, bananas are a very good option, because 1 banana, it's roughly 100 calories. You can eat 3 bananas a day. 1 in the morning, 1 before your workout, and 1 in the evening. You can put it in a shake very nicely, and you've got 300 calories extra just by eating 3 bananas. That's very good. Then we've got bread, pasta, potatoes, and any veggies, right? For some carbs. For the bread, of course, the best option is going to be whole grain. It has more fiber. You can still eat normal white bread, normal white pasta and potatoes. Doesn't matter, right? Just make sure you have a combination of all the foods. You don't want to cut. The worst thing that you can do is to cut out a macronutrient, right? To cut out carbs or something. We don't want to do that. For the fats, olive oil, very nicely. Any nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter, pistachio butter, whatever. Any nuts, peanuts, almonds, whatever you want. And avocados these are great sources of healthy fats that you can eat. And for the fibers, of course, veggies, fruits, whatever you want. So you can take a screenshot of these. I'm gonna delete this. You can take a screenshot of these, put it into your notes. Make sure you buy most of the foods that you buy from these foods. High calorie, all of them. and don't forget to add the foods that you also like, right? And of course, you can have some what the fuck, some junk food. I can, all right. You can add some junk food if you want, right? If you eat 90% healthy and 10% junk food, that's fine, right? From time to time, eat some junk food also. Now, the next question comes up: how much of these foods to eat? So, yeah, now you know what foods to eat, but what about how many calories of these foods? Now, my simple version explanation: eat whatever number of calories that is enough to gain from half a pound per week to 1 pound from week to week. So that means you do not need to gain 5, 10, 20, 30 pounds per week or per month to bulk up. You don't need to do that. The only thing that's going to happen if you gain more than 1 pound per week, you're going to gain fat. You're going to get fat. So if you don't want to regret your choice later, and if you don't want to make your life harder later, please listen to my advice. Gain between half a pound to 1 pound from week to week. 1 pound, it's still a lot. So if you gain more than that, you're going to only gain fat. You're going to get fat. So you will only get fat. Don't gain more than half a pound to 1 pound from week to week. And I know you're probably brainwashed by the toxic influencers that are telling you need to eat big to get big and all that stuff to gain more and more and more. But the truth is, if you look at them when they bulk in their bulking season, whatever they call it, at the end of their bulk, they look like shit. They look like poop. So you don't want to look like them. Yeah, you're going to cut after that and all that stuff. That's probably what they're going to tell you. You're going to cut the fat after. But guess what? If you cut the fat too fast, you are going to cut the muscle too. You're going to lose the muscle that you've built in that process. So you can build a muscle with minimal fat, and then you can still keep the body that you have, the body fat that you have, and you also have more muscle. Because let me tell you something, muscles, it's a luxury to the body. It's a luxury. Fat, it's also more important to the body than the muscles are to the body. Because what fat is, extra fat on your body, is storage for later when you don't have food. That's how your body thinks of it. You see body fat as just body fat, right? You just need to get rid of it. You don't need it. And it doesn't look good or whatever you think. But your body looks at it and you think of, yeah, I need muscle. Muscle is a necessity. I need to look good and all that stuff. But your body thinks the other way around. Your body thinks that, okay, muscles, I need just minimal muscles just to do my daily activities. But fat, let me store, put some fat into the storage, because later maybe this guy is not going to have something to eat. So we can take the food. For your body, fat is food. So that's why you don't want to gain a lot of fat and then cut, because your body is probably, if you cut a lot of calories, you're probably is going to think that, let me make this more clear to you. Let's say, I'm going to tell you exactly what happens. So let's say you're bulking for 5 months and you gain more than 1 pound per week, and you are very, very fat at the end of the bulk. You think you look big, but you're just fat. So yeah, you have some muscle, but you also have a bunch of body fat because you didn't listen to my advice. So now you need to cut because you wanted to get big so fast. You don't have the right mindset and the right tools in order to cut the fat slowly, in order to not lose the muscle. You are going to go on a very big cut to get rid of the fat fast. But if you do the cut very, very fast and very big, then your body thinks that you are starving, that you don't have food. So what it's going to do is going to keep the body fat percentage, right? It's going to keep the body fat because later you won't have, because now you don't have food and probably later you won't have food. So the first thing that it's going to do is going to go to the muscle, which is a luxury to your body. It's going to take the amino acids from the muscles. It's going to make the muscles smaller and it's going to keep the body fat. That's what happens. You lose fat, of course, and you lose some muscle in the process. So if you don't do it the way I teach you, your life is going to be very, very hard. Please trust me. And now, why don't you just join bulking school? Because there I ensure that you are doing everything that you need to do the correct way. Chances are I have your dream body and you want to look something similar to me. And of course, I can teach you to do that, but you must listen. So you will get all the information that you need in order to make this transformation faster, healthier, and the correct way. So if you consider joining, it's the first link below. Go right now, click and see, consider joining.